Hey, all right, let's check the mic. The mic is on. Looks good. Mic is on. Okay. Sorry, folks. I was a few minutes late trying to figure out why my computer wouldn't do computer things. I know what I'm doing, but sometimes the other part of the world doesn't know what they're doing. Anyway, tonight we're going to quickly put some tires and tubes on these stock Schwinn rims. It should be pretty good. This is a 65 varsity. Kind of small for me, but I'm going to build it up anyway, and we'll go from there. First thing we're going to do is examine this front wheel that I put together. If you watched the other videos of me doing the crossover method with that one really, really rusty wheel, this is the end result. Let's see. Let's get this started. Okay. This is the end result. It's not the greatest rim in the world, but it is a Schwinn 27-inch S6. And it's the same size as any 27-inch wheel. So there's no special Schwinn tire for it, but Schwinn still, they still stamped S6 on it, but there's no special tire that fits it. It's just a 27 by 1.25 inches or 27 by 1 3/8. It's a little tight, but it does fit. Anyway, I did the crossover technique, and this is what I came up with. It's not bad. It's not a bad wheel. There's one little ding. There's one little crunchy spot right there. Not bad. Compared to the other rim that I was going from to this, we did quite well. And it didn't take much truing. And the actual rim itself was in decent shape. When you get a rim that has a lot of damage and you try to true it, it takes a long time. And this one, here, I'll spin it for you. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad. We'll take that to the bank all day. A little bit of an up and down hop. That's to be expected. It's really not bad compared to that rusty brown chrome rim that I was complaining about. Anyway, we got the rim liner on here already. It's ready to go. And let's go pump up this tube a little bit and put this on and get going here. We got stuff to do. We got a new tube. We got 2 new tubes. And we'll just pump this up and put a little air in it just to get the shape of the tube. This is a pretty cheap tube. It's okay. I probably should put some slime in it. I have this green stuff called slime that you put in there, and it helps it a little bit from punctures. I forgot to bring it in, but I can do it later. Okay, this is just to get the shape. You guys are kind of close. There you go. This is just to get the shape of the tube. I'm not putting gangbusters in here. Okay. All right, and this is a Kenda K35. And we know it is because it came with a sticker that says Kenda K35, which is just their code for 27 by 1.25 inch wire bead. The company I bought these from, they were pretty cool this time. They sent them as a unit in a plastic bag without twisting them. Usually the bike people try to save on shipping, and they take the tire and they twist it, into a 3. They really crunch it up. I don't want to do it because this one hasn't been done that way. But they take the tire and they twist it into like 3 sections and shove it in a little bag. And it's not great for the tire. It's not great for the wire bead. But this company didn't do that, which was surprising. Usually, maybe they just forgot to save a few bucks on shipping. Anyway, you just saw me check the inside of the tire, even though this is a brand new tire. Even though this is brand new, we don't know where this has been. I don't know who at the factory was using a Q-tip or something. Always check. You just never know what's in there. You're supposed to use a rag if it's a used tire. That way you don't hit your finger on something sharp. Just check. It's, even though it's a new tire, you got to check. Give it a shake. Look down in here because anything from up here would fall down there. Looks good. Okay, so we got this tube. We got the shape. We didn't pump it up all the way. We just got some shape, some air in there for the shape. Hope everyone's doing well. This is the first live feed since Hurricane Helene basically ripped through Asheville and Weaverville. This is my first live feed since having power and internet back. It was quite dicey there for a while. Actually, we didn't have any for a while. Okay, so we let a little air out. It's ready to go. Now, we're going to give it a quick spritz with some Armor All on a towel. This is just something I do to make sure it seats. You don't have to do it. And we're not going to spray the tire in the house. We're just going to put a little bit on here and rub it on the tire. Just on the bead part. It's probably not even necessary on this style because it's not one of those tighter reproduction tires that has to be for Schwinn sizes. The 26 by 1 1/4, 1 3/8 S6. Those are really finicky to seat. But we just put a little Armor All on here. We made it slippery. That's good. And we already have the rim liner on. And this is the rim that I was working all day on that day, trying to make it right. And we did pretty well. So we're going to go one side. We got one side on there. Okay, we got one side on. This side's still not on. We're okay with that. Now, right now, this is kicked off to the side, and now's a great time to kind of move it back over, and then we'll get that going. Yeah, it's doing well. Okay, so we got it almost ready to pop on. And earlier we put air in it to get the shape of the tube, but now since it's ready to pop on, we're going to let the air out with something pointy. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so we let the air out. It's still some air in there, but see, now it's going to be easier for us to just use our hands on this because we put Armor All on it and we just let the air out of the tube and boom. Okay, so it's on here. Now we're going to pump it up. And I do not have a compressor in the house. Sorry. I'm working on that. I'll let you know when I get a compressor in the house. I'll let you know about that. Okay, so I did put Armor All on this tire, and it should seat pretty good. I can see a low spot already. We might have to respray it, but let's bring you down here where you can see. It's funny. Sometimes these tires you just put them on and they just pop right in there. And sometimes, you get like a little rust spot on the rim or something, and I can see a low spot right here, but the rest looks pretty good. I think I could take it out on the porch and bounce it around. Yeah, let's do that. We'll let a little air out. We'll go out on the porch and bounce it around. Yeah, let's go give it a bounce. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I see a low spot. We could peel this back and spray some Armor All in there. I think that's what I'm going to do. That's quite a big low spot. Yeah, it's right here too. Okay, so we sprayed the low spots, and we're going to hope for the best here. Some people use silicone spray, and I have used silicone spray, but that's a bit harsh for inside, in your living room. A little bit of Armor All isn't going to be in the world. The silicone spray does work. Very slippery, and then it evaporates. The good thing about the Armor All is it doesn't really evaporate too quickly, and you can keep working at it, Oh, dang it. What am I doing here? Okay, we still have a low spot. I can see it. I can see it right here. It's low. So I think what we're going to do is just really pump it up and wait for it to snap. And you guys should be able to hear it. Okay, so right now there's 20 pounds, 40, there's 39 pounds in here. And we're going to try to make this part right here. We want that to snap. Well, it didn't snap, but it came up. Well, sorry about the sound effects today. It didn't quite do it, but it did seat, and it's almost perfect. All right, let's check it out. Okay, let's put you back up here. Yeah, it did seat. We were successful. We seated it pretty well. And you can usually tell, like there'll be like a part of the tire that you can see the black part is down a little bit. But this one looks very good now. Yeah. We were very good. We cleaned the tire. We had it clean. We had the Armor All on there. The rim was nice and shiny. And let's see what we got here. There's a little bit of gum wall action there. That's really not the tire. That's how they made gum wall. You see how this black part here is down a little bit, but the ribbed part is still up. So that's actually the way they made the tire. There's only 5/8 of gum wall showing there. That's actually not an up and down hop in the rim or tire. This is just the gum wall part being black where it shouldn't be. That's 5/8. That's about 1/2 inch. So if you go to another spot in the tire and measure it, like right here, that's a full 5/8 and plus probably more like 11/16. So when they were making the gum wall in the factory, the black got sprayed down a little bit, and that's what you see. It's not an up and down hop in the tire itself. It's the gum wall being painted or whatever they do to make that. In fact, you can see it right there. Yes, this is a very cheap gum wall. You can see this little anomaly right here. They didn't quite, you can see this little notch here. They didn't quite mask that off right. I don't know how these tires are made. I just know that when you see that whippy dippy on the gum wall, it's not necessarily an up and down hop in the tire. It's the way they made the gum wall. It's not 1965 or 66 anymore. And these days people just crank out tires like there's no tomorrow. So there's no quality. Yeah, that is actually not an up and down hop in the tire or rim. Well, a little bit in the rim, but most of that is actually that gum wall being painted wrong. Let's check the other side. Same deal. The gum wall has a big lump in it. It's just where they made the gum wall. It's just, go buy a Michelin tire or something. Okay, let's put this on. I'm calling it good. Oh, by the way, I cleaned the hub and I replaced both cones and some bearings because the cones in this hub were chewed up and the bearings were no good. So not only did I switch it over from that rusty rim, I did open up the hub and replace both cones and bearings and new grease. So that's why this rim feels so good, actually. It's actually a really nice rim now. I mean, a little hop, and most of that's that stupid gum wall. Yeah, if you want to spend $80 on a tire, go buy some Michelin gum walls or something, and you won't have that. But if you're buying a Kenda tire, this is, especially nowadays, this is just something you have to deal with. It's not. It's just not like it used to be. Okay, let's pop this on. Quick release saves the world. Okay, there we have one quick release S6 27-inch tubular rim with a K35 Kenda tire. Not bad. That's really not that bad, folks. Most of that, well, some is in the rim. There is a slight up and down hop in the rim. It's just the way it is. But the tire itself, it's got that big black mark right there, right near the valve stem here. The black is painted. Well, I don't know if the gum wall is painted. I don't know what it is, but there's some variation in where that gum wall ends and meets the black, and that's what's going on there. It's not bad. Okay, let's do this back tire real quick. See if anybody chimed in. Okay, let's get this back one going on. The back rim, well, the back rim wasn't so fortunate. And I can tell you what happened to this. This is just a normal 10-speed S6 27-inch back rim. And this one is the only Schwinn back rim that I have right now that's not on a bike. And it's seen better days. It's a big blip here. Oh, the sun is coming right in on me. It's got a big blip there. Something hit pretty hard. And if you follow that up, there's another little blip where the valve stem would be. And that's probably from someone just going off a curb and weakening that. I think that's a dent there too. And this side is not much better. There's some wear rust right here that didn't polish out. In fact, this rim It's fairly true. And I think I'm going to leave it because I was telling you guys earlier in an earlier video, it's not bad. It's a little out, but I remember telling you guys earlier that sometimes you come across these rims and all the spokes are frozen. And yeah, and you want to do the right thing and put it in your truing stand and tighten it up, but you realize that every spoke on this is frozen. And so I took the freewheel off. It's just the bare hub. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just break this spoke out that I want to tighten. None of these, in this particular rim, there's not a spoke on here that turns. They are all frozen. So I was going to, snip it out with the snippers and replace it. But I don't have this size spoke. And every one of them is frozen. And the rim is fair. So guess what? We're just going to put it on. We'll find a better one, or we'll find a set of alloy wheels on another non-Schwinn bike that someone's not selling for $1 million. And we'll go with that. But for now, we can use this rim. But if we try to tighten this, if you think you're going to true this and they're all frozen, every one of these is frozen, you're going to have a bad day. Yes, no. No, the spoke is just spinning around. The whole spoke is just spinning. No, I'm not going to push it. Cut your losses. Are you going to get into this rim that hardcore? Are you going to go buy 36 brand new spokes? Are you going to find 36 used spokes? Are you going to snip them all out and toss it to the side? When you get something, you just got to cut your losses. And in this case, we're just going to put the tire in tube on. It's not that bad. Spinning it, it's just, it's a fairly, the up and down hop isn't bad. It's just I wanted to true it. I really wanted to true it, but they're all frozen. And no, I'm not going to go buy 36 new spokes for this ancient rim that's all scarred up. Like I said, it's got major issues with wear, and none of that's polishing out. That's a deep rust mark. And should I even be using this? Well, this is what I got. It is a Schwinn rim, and I have to use it. I have an alloy wheel, but I hate doing the mismatch thing. It's not me. It's going to be both Schwinn rims, and it's going to be both Schwinn rims. All right. Oops. All right, let's put some air in this one just to gain the shape. And then once we get this back wheel on, we'll cable this front brake, and that's probably going to be about it. By the time I get to that, we're moving pretty fast here today. Okay, so just put some air in it to get the shape. Okay. So we got the shape we want. It's good not to knock your pump over. Okay. I don't hear anything. All right, put that to the side. And like I said earlier, always check, even though it's a brand new tire, you got to check. You don't know what people were doing at the factory that day. They could be playing, Yahtzee, or, someone missing a chess piece, or somebody, I don't know, dropped a bag of bolts somewhere or something. So always, if it's a new tire, use your hands. If it's a used tire, put a rag in there. So if there is some pokey thing or a piece of glass, you won't cut your hand. But if it's a new tire, I don't know what they're doing at the factory, but it's probably safe enough to run your hand in there. And like I said, these didn't come all twisted up in a bag like they usually send them. These came flat in a big piece of plastic, which was pretty cool that they didn't, because usually they take them and twist them around, and it goes into a 3. It goes into a double or a 3, and then they shove it in the bag. And it's not good for the wire bead. All right, so we got the shape. We checked the tire. It is the right size. It is a 27. Put this on. And I think we're going to let a little air. I got a little too much air in here. Okay, we'll give it a little spritz. We'll give it a little spritz here. Okay, that's nice and happy. Got some armor all on there. Okay. Hey, hope everyone's doing good. I hope if you were in the path of Hurricane Helene, that everything's okay and you're able to figure out your life after that. It's good not to have your shirt in the tire and tube. All right, so we're getting this here. Like I said earlier, we're just going to go one side and then we're going to do something else. So I sprinkled this one pretty good with the Armor All and see how it's going on, no problem. The other one I didn't really put a lot on. All right, so we're going to put the start on this side now. Here's that. It's always better to do it by hand, then you know you're not puncturing anything. I just changed a flat for a neighbor's son's mountain bike, and it had a huge hole right through the tube, both sides. And I was wondering how he did that, or if he did it. I don't know who did it, but the tube that was in there was just, it looked like a screwdriver went right through it. I'd never actually seen anything like that before, but it's always the first time. All right, so my hands are too slippery because the wheel was sprayed with the goo. Anyway, so we're almost there. We got a little bit to go right here. But what we're going to do now is let more air out of the tube because we put air in it to get shape, but now we want the air to be out. So the air is out now. And now we should be able to just pop this on by hand. It should just go right on. There we go. No tools needed. All right, so this is all armored alled up. And let's put you down on chair cam. And we will pump this up, and hopefully, since this is more liberally armor-alled than the last one, we should just be able to seat this tire pretty well. So I'm just going to pretend like it's going to do it and put about 90 pounds in it. And maybe we'll hear it snap, and maybe we won't. Or we'll take it out on the porch and bounce it too. I can see a low spot on the bottom there for sure. Yeah. It depends on how you start pumping it up too. Like this low spot here was on the ground when I first started pumping. So that's probably what's going to pop out when it pops. And if you have a compressor, it really helps. You can just blast the tire, and usually it just seats really quickly. You know, hand pumps aren't. Oh, look, see how it's going out? Hand pumps aren't great for this. Okay, that I can see that part seated pretty good. Let's take a look. You know, this looks pretty good. I'm just going to keep going. And that is 8. Good for now. All right, let's set you up here and we'll give it a spin and we'll put it on the back. Yeah, it looks like it's seated pretty well. Let me get a towel. This is kind of extra armor all on there. Okay. Put this cap on because we're professionals. Okay, let's give this thing a spin. This rim is damaged. All the spokes are frozen. I can't true it unless I buy 36 spokes. That ain't happening. I'd rather just get a different rim. It is a Schwinn rim. Uh, Eventually, I'll probably have to deal with it somehow. I might find another rim that's really bad but has good spokes, or I might find a deal on the spoke size I need. Spokes are expensive nowadays. Okay, that's not bad. That tire's better than the other one. Gum wall part. There's not a lot of gum wall flapping around like that other front tire had a really big deviation between the tan part and the black part. But this one, oh, I spoke too soon. This is the side. This is the side they were messing up at the factory. Yeah, it's got a little variation, but it's not really the tire, and it's not bad. This actually has less up and down hop than the other wheel. All right, let's pop this on the back, and then we're going to cable the front wheel, and we might call it a night because it doesn't seem like tonight's the night for people to come on and talk to me. I'm not feeling good about that. Okay, let's pop this on. Yeah, we're doing good. What, a half hour in, and we got tubes and tires on. Usually it's like I'm struggling with one little stupid thing for hours, This bike's kind of a nice one. It's an easy one. Well, I got everything set up too, so. Right now I'm just kind of centering down and looking down and kind of centering this. Okay, now I don't have the freewheel on, obviously. It's just the bare hub. And I don't have the chain or the cranks. This is just to kind of see what these brakes are doing, how the frame looks. The derailleur is still kind of just dangling, is dangling there. This is just to kind of see what's going on. It's not bad. That's not bad. It's kind of a junky wheel, but it's seated up pretty good. It actually has less up and down hop than the front wheel. And I don't think these brakes are going to work. The front ones, yeah, I think we can do that. And we will put that on right now. In fact, we're going to cable them up right now. Oh, look, we got people. Oh, Z-Man. Sorry, do you know I'm right here? Tinker on a bike also. Sorry. That was talk to text. Oh, welcome to the show, Z-Man. Oh, you're the first one who gets to hear it. Welcome from Weaverville, North Carolina. It's Saturday Night Live feed. There was some kind of copyright thing. They were going to not let me say that. I had to reword it in the description. I had to do something to, like, the description. They wouldn't let me put Saturday Night Live ... feed. I had to make live feed one word, and then they allowed me to do that. Like, Big Brother was watching my description. Really? Some bike mechanic in North Carolina can't say Saturday Night Live feed? Okay. Z-Man, I'm here. Just shine up a seat on a Schwinn Murata. Oh, Murata. Oh, that's like an early 80s mountain bike? What is that? Oh, that's a road bike. Don't tell me. It's gray with pink lettering. Okay, let's see, we're doing pretty good here. We got to, since we both have both wheels, and they're not bad. So I think we got about 20 minutes left. I think we're going to cable this and put the brake pads on this one, because this front brake is good. It's got the distance is good. The back brake, I think I'm going to have to use a 2.1, or it's just not quite there. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. The back brake's like that's in the upward position, and it's just not quite there. I think I'm gonna have to get a smaller brake, but the front brake is good. There's a little bit of room there. Hey, Z-Man, what is a Schwinn Murata? I forget. That's a road bike. It's like a 12-speed. I think that's a road bike. Anyway, let me get the cabling here. We can talk later. I got 20 minutes to go here, folks. I got to make this work. Okay, let's get a cable. So yeah, if you're oh, brown with gold letters. Oh, okay, yeah. Why was I thinking 80s? Brown with gold letters. Okay. The 80s, everything was gray with pink, which is the Schwinn Prolube or whatever it was. Yeah, everything was, they just loved that pink lettering. Hey, it was the 80s. I had a pink Izod shirt. Okay, so. Okay, let's get this cable ready. We've got some gray cable, and since it's not any big deal to put this in and it actually fits, it doesn't have to be that skinny gray stuff for the gearing. We can use some gray cable and it will fit and be gray and look correct. It's not the Schwinn cable. And in fact, this stuff doesn't even have a liner, but I don't care. Let's put these on real quick. I know I'm rambling. You guys see? Yeah, you guys are good. Yeah, for some reason, this front brake is good. Excuse me. There's adjustment on this brake, but that rear is kind of tight. I could file up into the aluminum a little bit, but that's not recommended. It weakens it. I could though. It might, but I don't think I will. I'll think better of it. All right, so we got some new pads on here. Doing all right. And once we get these pads on, we'll see how this is going to work. Yeah, this brake's got a little adjustment. Okay, we want that one there. That one looks good too. Okay, so we're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold this with a wrench. You guys there? Not really. I don't see. Dang. That's much better. Okay, so we're going to hold this pad from turning with a wrench, because if you just start cranking on it, it's going to spin. It's usually a 9/16 wrench to hold it and a 10 millimeter to tighten it. So that's when we know we want it there. Okay, we're going to hold this next one. Okay, now we're just going to kind of test what's going on. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, we're good. All right, so let's cable it up. And right now we can even put our little tool back in to help us cable it. And it is right here. Nice tool to have. This is a really nice tool to have. And put this end in where the cable part is, because if this end is near the cable part, you're going to be fighting that, trying to pull the cable and do all that stuff. So we're going to put this in. Boy, these bars are really in the way of what's going on here. Oh, you can see that way. So I'm going to put this small end in without the handle first, near the cable side, on one of the studs for the brake shoe. Okay, so that's a nice tool. It really works good. And then you can cable it and leave a little slack in there, and then you know it's good. All right, we need a cable. Yeah, one of these is, I'm saving one of these for the back. I think this is the longer one for the back. Yeah. I hate to mess up. Yeah, this is definitely a short one here. Okay. Yeah, this is the front one. There's no way this is going to go to the back. Yeah, this is the front one. All right, so let's see how much of this we need. $35. What does the emblem look like in front? Is it a round emblem? Or is it what year is it? What year is that Murata? Okay, I'm snip that. And we snipped it, and now we're going to reach in here and kind of make sure that that is not jagged like it is now. We're going to reach in with this and kind of, make it round again, just so it's not so jagged. And it's kind of jagged. It's bumming me out. And I don't want to shoot these across the living room, so I'm gonna put them down in the tools and kind of shoot it that way. There we go. That's better. I'm trying to open this up a little. Oh, okay, this is good. Yeah. Okay. What the hell is going on here? Okay, we got one end that looks pretty good. We'll put a ferrule on it. But first we'll check to see if the ferrule actually will fit in the areas we want it to go. Okay, so this ferrule is going to go in here, and no, it will not fit. So we can't use a ferrule in this bottom part. Let's see if we can use a ferrule in one of these. Okay, so we got the piece that's going in the handle, the grip, and a ferrule will go into that. So we will use the ferrule there. So right now we're just gonna put this in and then just kind of measure. And since this is compressed already with my little tool, it's a good time just to measure the cable and kind of get happy and snip it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. There's a little slack for moving the bars up and down. I probably am going to move the bars up a little bit because the frame's really small for me. So let's live a little and, cut it a bit big so it has room to go up, so you have room to bring the bars up a little bit. I think we're going to cut it a little bit on the big side. Okay, so that we know it goes right there, so we're going to cut it right there. And we don't have to worry about going across the room because it's a big piece. But I was being careful earlier. You don't want little bits of metal flying around your living room and stuff. All right, so we're going to open this piece up. It's pretty bad. That one I did shoot into the toolbox. And this one looks much better. See, we got a pretty decent round hole there. Okay, let's get this cable and the ferrule. Where'd that ferrule go? Here it is. All right, so we're going to shove that ferrule is in that aluminum piece, and it does fit. And the ferrule will not fit in the other adjuster barrel. It's just too. You can drill those Schwinn adjuster barrels out if you really want to. All right, so we'll put this through, we'll grease it up, and we'll put it in. And we got some grease here. Welcome to Saturday Night Live Feed. I've been waiting to say that for months. Live from Weaverville, North Carolina. It's Saturday Night Live Feed. All right, so we got this piece here. We're going to put it in. Okay. Nice and greasy. Yeah, careful not to let the other part of the cable hit the carpet or the ground. Yeah, you are working in your living room. If you're like me, you're trying not to get the place dirty. All right, so we got to put this piece on. It's being a little stubborn. There we go. All right, so apart from it being really greasy on that end now, this is ready to go into the brake. And let's do that. Just wiping some excess off that. Okay. All right, you guys with me? Yes, you are. All right, so I adjusted the barrel. We'll leave some adjustment here because this is really tight. This Park tool keeps it really tight. And we're going to leave some adjustment so I can put this back in if I want to, and if it's too tight, because this wheel isn't exactly the truest wheel in the world. So we're going to leave some adjustment to adjust it back in. So let's pop this in. Hang on, I'm already having issues. I'm putting it in the pinch bolt right now. Okay, so that went in the pinch bolt, nice and easy. You shouldn't have to struggle with that pinch bolt at all. If the cable end is trimmed right and the pinch bolt, it doesn't have a bunch of goo in it, you shouldn't be struggling. It should go right in. You should be able to see it go right in. All right, so get about 3 inches on that, and open up your brake lever and see if you can fish it in there in the dark. It's getting dark now. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I fished it in. I have it in there. I have it in where it goes. Now I'm going to pull this part down, and the housing will just naturally keep that tight. And before I tighten this bolt, I'll hold the cable and I'll just make sure that that is going to be doing brake things. And it is. So grab an 8mm wrench that you have handy, that you didn't just throw in a pile of wrenches while you're holding this. You know, like the wrench that you're supposed to have handy. Yeah, here it is. Okay, that's the wrong one. Okay, there, yeah, there it is. Here's the wrench that you're supposed to have handy. It's an 8. Sometimes it's a 9, but usually on brakes, it's an 8. Oh, okay, so I got that. I need to pull that with a pair of needle nose to get that extra slack out of there. Or, you know, we, even though we have this adjuster only halfway up, we do still want to pull this pretty tight and then tighten it. This could probably do with a shinier nut that pinches it down. It's just what I had laying around out there. Okay, so now we're going to snip off this excess. And we would put a little aluminum cap on it, but I don't have any right now. So we're just going to snip it about 3 inches, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, you're going to find a better stem, or is this whole brake assembly and lever going on a taller bike? You might need to have add cable. You might need that little 3-inch section there. You never know what you're doing. Well, I know what I'm doing, but you never know what's going to happen in the future. Actually, I really don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so let me throw this away real quick. Sorry, folks, just had to get a towel. That's a lot of grease. All right, so let's take this park clamp off of here. And we'll see how this brake. The front wheel is fair. Better than the back wheel, actually. This is the wheel, if you watched the other video, I was doing the crossover technique, and it came out pretty well. I did have to replace 2 cones, the bearings, and the 2 bearing cones, and 3 spokes. Oh, excuse me, 5 spokes. The rim was so rusty, 5 spokes just broke right away, and 1 I had to snip out of there. So 5 spokes later, new bearings and new cones, and we have a used front wheel. Very used. All right, let's pop this off. Yeah, don't try to spin the wheel when this is on. Don't ask me why I know. All right, so yeah, it's definitely needs to be centered. Yeah, the wheel is not that true. It's not the truest wheel in the world. It's got there's some issues. But let's crank this back in because we can. We left ourselves room. We did leave a little room here. I think if we center that, we'll be pretty good. Yeah, it's not the greatest wheel. If I get an alloy set off another bike, I probably will change it out. But for now, we have a front wheel and we have brakes. That's good. We're going to put these caps in just so I don't lose them. I do have some tape for the bars, but it's white and I'm not quite. I'll show you the tape. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's Hunt Wild. This is vintage. You know, it's a Schwinn. You could use this on a Schwinn and it would look pretty good. It would look fairly original. It's just not coppertone, and yeah, I'm just not quite ready to open this, the holy grail of bags. You know, you don't want to open some bag of like almost Schwinn parts to just not use it. So I'm not going to open this. It's really nice, but it's white, and it's the last case scenario. You know, it's not. I think I would probably use. Now, this would probably be the next best thing. If I can't find coppertone tape for the bars, I will use this, but I don't want to open up the plastic yet. Just something tells me, leave that in the package. Don't do it. Okay. So anyway, I got these caps, and these hold the bar tape in on these type of bars. These bars are 23.5 millimeters, I believe. So they're the bigger bar that really shouldn't be on this bike. But if I don't put these caps in these bars right now, they'll be gone forever. And I will wrap these bars eventually, and it'll be really nice if they're in the bar. So when I do find some coppertone wannabe, good luck finding Schwinn stuff. But I might be able to find some Hunt Wild orange or coppertone. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to put these in so I don't lose them. Yeah. And so critters don't get in there. We don't like critters. Okay, a couple more minutes to go. We said it was going to be an hour. We're doing pretty good. We got a front wheel. We got brakes. I'm not doing the back brakes yet. They're a little shy. I think I need a different set. So we're not going to do these right now. We could throw the front derailleur on. And, well, I don't know if we want to do that yet because the cranks aren't in. And I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Well, this is the front derailleur. It's not a sprint, but it's pretty close to what should be going on there, and it's the right diameter. It's missing. Oh, look, it's missing the pinch bolt. Yeah, I think I'll probably clean this up a little more and probably wait until the cranks are in, because what will happen is I'll put it on and then I'll have to move it a couple of times, and that you'll run the risk of scarring the frame up a little bit. So I think that about wraps it up. I think we might put a seat on it. I might throw this seat on it and just test it to see if the frame and fork are straight. I can't ride it, but I can kind of coast it around the living room a little bit. We got about 2 minutes left. So let's put this seat on and we'll get real dicey, and we'll just coast it around the living room, because I'm dying to know if this frame and fork are straight. I bought this frame and fork off of eBay probably 4 years ago. So if it's not straight and I did all this work, that's going to be a bummer, dude. And this is the wrong seat. I can see the comments now. That's a Suburban seat. What are you doing? Okay, we're getting there. Bear with me. Let's read a comment here. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, round Schwinn badge. 88. That sounds right. They had a Chrysler Murata. That was about 1991. It's funny how cars and bikes borrowed each other's names. Yeah, they had a big fat Chrysler. It was like they had a Dodge Magnum and they had a Chrysler Murata, and it was this big boaty two-door looking thing with this plastic front grille that everybody thought was great for 1991. It was such a smogged out 318 V8 that I think I was racing somebody once when I was younger. I had a slant six car, and they had a brand new Murata, and they didn't do too well. I had this 64 Valiant with the push button tranny. Made the big car look really bad. It was because all the smog on that car was ridiculous. Big boaty car with a 318 V8, and it was all smog. And then it had power steering, power brakes, AC, automatic tranny. It was just a big slush box of a car, and weighed much more than a Valiant. And I remember making someone look very, very anemic in their Chrysler Murata. I guess it was more like a Dodge Diplomat wannabe. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's take this off the stand and we'll test to see the frame is straight and on a night. As promised, Saturday Night Live feed. We're coming along. This is turning out to be a nice bike. Let's take it off the stand here. If you're in my area and you witnessed and dealt with Hurricane Helene, my sympathy is with you. It was a rough one. Things were really happening here. We had a 3-day chainsaw party to get out of this street, and some of that's on my channel. I didn't do a lot of disaster stuff on the channel, but that was rough. Anyway, my heart goes out to you. If you're from this area and you dealt with this latest hurricane, hang in there. Things are going to get better. And, just hope that things will get better. It's going to be great. It's going to be better than before. Okay. We have a rolling 1965 Schwinn coppertone varsity. And kickstand is kind of dicey. All right, so what we're going to do, we are going to just roll it around in the living room with me on it and just make sure that the frame and fork are doing what they should be doing. Like I bought this off of eBay. I really don't know what happened to the frame and fork, why somebody was selling it. So here we go. We're not going to pedal it, obvious, because there's no cranks. Oh, and here comes Mr. Excitement. Hey, what's up, dude? All the work's done. All the work is done. Here, have a treat. Can't believe brother's not running around in here. Okay, sit. Who's a good boy? Where's brother? Oh, brother got locked in the other room. Oh, so you know what? You get two. Here, have another one. Okay, folks. First time for a long time. We're going to see if this frame and fork are good. So I'm just going to roll it around because I don't have cranks. And I can tell the frame and fork, I can tell just that little circle, the frame and fork are good. Watch out, buddy. Hey, we got stuff to do here. We got stuff to do. Watch out. Dude, hello. You think it's your channel? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the frame and fork are good. I can't really small for me, though, obviously. I didn't test the front brake. Well, the dog's kind of in the way. Oh, yeah, we're good. Frame and fork are good. What are you doing? Okay, folks, that wraps it up for now. I hope everyone's doing well. And we better get a better kickstand, too. I don't think this kickstand is right. Doesn't quite do it for me. It should be about here. So we can either bend that one or experiment with other kickstands. Although the little chart on the interweb said this was the correct kickstand, but I think they're wrong. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for now. Thanks for coming by. The next live feed, we will have cranks. Well, I have the chain. We will have some Nervar cranks, and we will have a better set of back brakes that actually fit. And then when we get the cranks in, we can put this. I don't want to put this on yet because why do it now and have to do it again and move it, risk chipping the frame. And we might have, yeah, I guess all we need is the cranks and chain at this point. I mean, we're doing pretty good and a better back brake. Okay, thanks for tuning in. And, you know, Faulkner Fixes All live feed, Saturday night live feed. Thanks for being here. Okay, as always, straight ahead, think good thoughts, don't feed the negative.